Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Pop Culture Junkies. We're going to talk today all about that first episode of She-Hulk. Let's get into it. All right, guys. So the first episode of She-Hulk has been out now. I'm sure you probably watched it. Hopefully, if you're enough of a comic nerd to watch me, I hope you watched a Disney Plus show. I want to first start out by saying I got a whole other host of videos I haven't edited yet, and they all go into this subject about people complaining about Marvel content. Started with Marvel Girl, cascaded into Thor, ran over a little bit into some of the other properties, and now it's starting to hit She-Hulk. And I want to say one thing. Some of us are old enough to remember when there wasn't no content, right? Some of us are old enough to remember when you didn't get comic book TV shows or movies, right? Some of us are old enough to remember when you had to watch Adventures in Babysitting just so you could see the guy who we all knew was Thor but didn't really get to be Thor, and we all wished we had a movie of Thor. If you're one of those people like me, then you just enjoy all this stuff for what it is. I can enjoy Miss Marvel because it's a young teenage kid's show. It shows a teenage girl as a teenage girl should be, right? A lot of people have issues, and I'm not going to say if there's a bunch of creeps out there, but I'm going to say that comic fans have a hard time watching women do anything when they can't sexualize them, and that's fucking gross, guys. But back to She-Hulk. First episode of She-Hulk came out. I am a huge She-Hulk fan. Let's start with that. Full disclosure, I am a huge She-Hulk fan, guys. Way before the show. Way before the show. I'm going to grab the first slab that I think the first slab I ever bought. First book I ever sent in for a slab. Hold on. One of the first books I ever sent in for a slab, and if you're a fan of our show, you know you've heard me talk about it. This Savage She-Hulk #1, right? Got an 8.5. Why? Because there's a little tear on here, and I didn't pay attention to the notes on eBay when I bought it. But still, one of my favorite characters. Back here, She-Hulk. #1, 80s, John Byrne run, right? Classic run right here, guys. Classic run. In fact, this is where a lot of the fourth wall break starts, right here. Deadpool wasn't the first. He wasn't even created yet. It was She-Hulk. She did it first, period. She's doing it on the cover. Come on. This is an Avengers 44, Peach Momoko cover. This She-Hulk, do you know I got this? I went to my good friends at my favorite comic shop, I Want More Comics, and they were not going to order enough copies of this book to get this version. However, they did cut me a deal, and I had to pay X dollars to get them up to those copies and buy that many copies of Avengers so that I could get this book and then purchase this book. That's how much I love Momoko, and B, I love She-Hulk. So for everyone out there who thinks I'm making this video just because it's the flavor of the month in the latest Disney show, that is not the case. I am a huge She-Hulk fan. So on to the show. I think it's a great show. I thought it was going to be great before it came out. Tatiana is the lead actress. If you guys have not watched Orphan Black, you need to watch Orphan Black. Amazing show. That girl plays literally 7, 8 different clones of all different personality types. One's like this Russian assassin. One's like a soccer mom. One's a new age chick with dreads. She plays all these characters, and she does it so well because you don't even realize you're looking at the same actress half the time. Like, she looks the same because they're clones, right? They still have the same facial features, but you forget that this is the same actress playing all of these characters. So I knew from an acting standpoint, she was gonna crush it, bro. The girl kills it in all the roles she's done. Period. That's it. I knew as a character people were gonna like She-Hulk. And why? Because she's personable. She's not Bruce Banner Hulk with all his rage problems and everything else. She's just a lady lawyer living her life. And the one thing I knew about the show when it was coming out, I said, this is going to be Ally McBeal again. This is going to apply to such a wide range of viewers. One of the things that people don't realize as comic book fans and pop culture fans, we aren't the biggest audience. There's a whole other audience out there they want to capture on every show, right? This captures that audience, and that's why I knew it was going to be a hit. I remember when that show came out. I remember when Ally came out, and it was full of fourth wall breaks and all that other shit. And I said, this is going to be the same thing, but it's going to be with superheroes. And I remember these episodes. I remember the issues of this comic book when it came out. and I just knew like this is going to appeal to such a wide range of people. And so for me, I think the first episode was great. I think it introduced you to the characters pretty well. I think it got its point across about the story it was starting to tell. I think it's going to be interesting to see you guys kind of get more into it as it goes on. Like, I know where it's going, so it'll be interesting for those of you who aren't as familiar with the character to see where it actually goes. All right, guys. So what I want to do, I'm going to ask a unbiased third-party person who is not the She-Hulk fan that I am, who watched the show with me. So you'll hear her off camera. You don't need to introduce yourself or anything, but you watched She-Hulk with me the other day.
Yes.
What did you think of the show?
I thought it was good. It was funny. It was relatable as a woman, so it was just related to watch. It was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm. What was your favorite part of it?
Her telling Bruce Banner
Mm-hmm.
off because he didn't understand how women work, and he kept trying to tell her how to do things, and the fact that she figured out how to be Hulk better than him, faster than him.
Mm-hmm. That's all.
Okay.
So that's the point I'm trying to make to you guys. There's a huge audience of people out there that things appeal to for reasons that a lot of comic nerds wouldn't grasp onto. And the people they have running the show, they understand this. Like I said, that's what you're going to get in the first episode. That's what you're going to see. It's exactly what I thought it would be. I think it's going to be their biggest hit because it appeals to a much larger market than comics. You're about to see potentially the most popular Marvel property that's come out in a long time just for this reason. The fact that it appeals to such a broad audience, it's going to knock it out of the park. And I think it makes the superhero experience relatable in an everyday fashion, and it's really enjoyable. So if you haven't watched it, take a watch. Remember to hit like and subscribe. Remember to make your subscription public. Those books are being graded that were signed by Jim Lee as we speak. They are almost on their way back to us. Once they get here, we will check our subscribers, and we'll be giving away that X-Men #1 cover to one of you lucky subscribers who made your subscription public. I'll see you on the flip side.